What's up guys, Jason here. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple and efficient Minecraft Bedrock witch farm. This farm works on 1.19 and on all platforms of Minecraft Bedrock, whether you play on a phone, tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. As you guys can see here, this farm allows you to easily get a lot of loot. This farm is also a good way to get XP. It allows you to easily get to level 30 or higher. For this farm, all you'll need is 4 glass blocks, 12 glass panes, 1 empty locator map, 2 chests, 1 hopper, 1 minecart hopper, 1 rail, 4 observers, 4 redstone torches, 4 pistons, 1 lever, 1 trident. By the way, the trident can have any level of durability because the trident will never break in the farm. 3 torches, 2 water buckets, 1 soul sand, 38 kelp, 1 cobblestone wall, 3 signs, about 33 ladders. By the way, the amount of ladders you need may vary. 52 slabs, and finally about 6.5 stacks of solid blocks. You can use any type of solid block you want. A couple examples of solid blocks include cobblestone or wood planks. The first step is to go to a witch hut. You can find witch huts in swamp biomes. After you are at a witch hut, break any cauldron and crafting table inside of it. Then break any flower pot or fences on the walls. Now place a solid block at each of these spots. Now place 3 glass panes over here, 3 over here, 3 over here, and 3 over here. After placing all those glass panes, place 2 solid blocks over here. At this point, if there are any witches near the witch hut, you should kill them. Now go about 30 blocks away from the witch hut. Once you are about 30 blocks away from the witch hut, wait a little while. I suggest you wait for a few minutes. By doing this, witches should eventually spawn in the glass panes, which will allow you to find the witch spawn spot at the witch hut. After waiting for a little while, go back over to the witch hut. Now break these solid blocks. As you guys can see here, there should be some witches at the witch spawn spot. The witches should be between 4 glass panes. If no witches spawn for you, place 2 solid blocks over here, then go out about 30 blocks away from the witch hut again. Now I recommend you try switching your world difficulty to peaceful and then to hard. Now wait for a few minutes. After waiting for a few minutes, go back over to the witch hut. Then break these 2 blocks. As you guys can see there should be witches between 4 glass panes. That is the witch spawn spot of your witch hut. The next step is to break all the glass panes except for the 4 glass panes enclosing the witches. The witches should be standing on the witch spawn spot. The next step is to find the southeast block of the witch spawn spot. To do that, open an empty locator map. Now position yourself so the arrow is pointing towards the top of the map. This direction is north. Now turn so that the arrow is facing the right side of the map. This is east. Now turn so the arrow is facing the bottom of the map. This is south. Since this direction is south and this direction is east, that means that the southeast block of this witch spawn spot is over here. The next step is to break the southeast block, then place a different solid block over here. Then break these other 3 blocks under the glass panes. Those should be the other 3 blocks of the witch spawn spot. The next step is to kill the witches. Then break the glass pane above this southeast block. Then place a glass block over here. Then break these 3 glass panes. The next step is to break all the blocks that are 1 or 2 blocks below the witch hut floor. This is the witch hut floor. After breaking all the blocks under the witch hut that are 1 or 2 blocks below the witch hut floor, the farm should look something like this. The next step is to place 2 blocks at each of these spots. Then place 2 blocks at each of these spots as well. After you're done with that step, break these 4 blocks. Then place 4 blocks over here. The next step is to break the witch hut. By doing this, you will be able to easily make the rest of the farm. Once you have broken the witch hut, the farm should look like this. The next step is to place 2 blocks at each of these spots. The next step is to place 3 blocks in each corner. After you have done that, place 4 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now extend that 4 block high wall around this area. After you are done creating those walls, go over here. Now break these 2 blocks. Then break any blocks at these spots. Once you're done with that step, place a block at each of these spots. The next step is to place 2 blocks over here. Now replace this block with a cobblestone wall. Then break this block. After you have done that, go out here. Now place 4 blocks over here, 2 over here, and 3 over here. Then place a block at each of these spots as well. Now place a block over here. Then place a block at each of these spots. After you've done that, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place water at this spot. The water should flow over to that spot. Now place 2 signs over here. The signs will prevent water over here from flowing into that water stream. The next step is to place 31 blocks at this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After you're done placing 31 blocks, go back down here. Then place 31 blocks at each of these spots as well. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place a block at this spot and 2 blocks over here. Now place 5 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then fill in that outline with solid blocks. By doing this, you'll create a platform for the Trident Killer. The next step is to place a piston over here, then place a piston at this spot, piston over here, and piston over here. Make sure those pistons are facing those directions. The next step is to place a redstone torch at each of these spots. After you're done placing the redstone torches, place an observer at this spot. The top arrow of that observer should be facing that piston. Then place an observer over here. The top arrow of that observer should be facing that way. Now place an observer over here. The top arrow of that observer should be facing that way. Finally, place an observer over here. The top arrow of that observer should be facing that piston. It's really important that you place the pistons, redstone torches, and observers correctly. The next step is to place 4 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place 3 blocks over here and 3 blocks on this side as well. The next step is to place a solid block at each of these spots. The next step is to throw a trident at that piston. Now place a lever at this spot, then flick it down. After the piston stops moving, flick it up. As you guys can see here, the piston should move around like that. The next step is to flick this lever back down. That should shut off the Trident Killer system. The next step is to place 2 glass blocks over here and 1 at this spot, then place a slab at this spot. The next step is to go down to the ground. Now align yourself under that block. Then place blocks from the ground all the way up to that block. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to go back down to the ground. Now place ladders from here all the way to the top of that pillar. By the way, if there's anything blocking this area, you can break it. By placing these ladders, you will be able to easily get to the Trident Killer of this farm. After you have placed the ladders, count down 3 blocks from this spot. 1, 2, 3. Then place 2 blocks over here, and 3 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3. Then crouch down and place 2 chests over here. Then crouch down and place a hopper at this spot. The nozzles of the hopper should be facing that chest. Now crouch down and place a rail on the hopper. Now place a minecart hopper on the rail, then place a block at each of these spots. These blocks will prevent the minecart hopper from moving off of the hopper. That will be the collection system. The minecart hopper will collect loot from the Trident Killer. The loot will then get funneled down by that hopper into that collections chest. It's important that the minecart hopper is under the Trident Killer floor. The next step is to place a torch over here and a torch at each of these spots. Those torches will prevent mobs from spawning on those areas. The next step is to place 6 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then place 6 over here. Then place 6 over here as well. After you're done placing those blocks, place 4 blocks over here. 3 over here. 3 over here. And 1 over here. Now place another layer of blocks on top of those blocks. Then do that again. The next step is to place a sign at this spot. Then place water at this spot. That water should flow like that. The next step is to go back down to the bottom area. Now place kelp from here all the way to the top of this water column. That will make all the water in that area into water source blocks. After you have placed all the kelp, go back down to the bottom. Then break the bottom kelp. As you guys can see there, that should cause all the kelp to break. Now replace this block with soul sand. As you guys can see here, that should create a bubble column. This bubble column will push witches up into the Trident Killer. The bubble column should flow all the way up to this top part. The next step is to place 4 blocks over here and 2 over here. Then place a slab at each of these spots. These slabs will prevent mobs from spawning on this area. The next step is to go down here. Now place 4 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place slabs at each of these spots. By placing these slabs, you will be able to prevent mobs from spawning on these areas. The next step is to place 4 blocks over here. Now place 4 more over here. Then place 4 slabs over here, and 4 over here as well. Those blocks will prevent phantoms from spawning whenever you're standing over here. I am now going to do a quick fly around so that you can check and make sure you've made this witch farm correctly. Over here there should be the witch spawning chamber. The inside of the chamber should look like this. It should be dark. Over here there should be that block and that glass block. Down here there should be this water stream that flows towards the bubble column. Over there should be the bubble column. Finally, over here, there should be the trodden killer and collection system. How this farm works is you can first stand over here, then flick that lever up. That will activate the trodden killer. As you are standing up here, witches can spawn at the witch spawn spot. They will then get pushed off by the glass block into the water stream. The water stream will then push them into the bubble column. The bubble column will send the witches up to this top area. That water stream will then push the witches into the trodden killer. The witches will get automatically killed. You will collect the XP over here, and all the loot will get picked up by the minecart hopper, funneled into that hopper, and funneled into that collections chest. By the way, when you stand over here, the witches will not be able to attack you. When you're done using this farm, you can flick that lever down to shut off the trodden killer. I am now going to show you all how to use this witch farm. To use it, first flick this lever up, then stand over here. Now all you need to do is wait. Witches will spawn at the witch spawn spot, then get pushed off by the glass block into the water stream. The water stream will then push them into the bubble column. The bubble column will push them all the way up here, then a water stream will push them into the trodden killer. Whenever a witch goes into the trodden killer, it will get automatically killed. You will collect XP over here, and the loot will go down into the collections chest. By the way, if you want to get more loot at a time, you can hold a looting 3 sword. That will cause the looting 3 effect to be applied to the trident. When you are done using this farm, flick this lever down to shut the trident killer off. You can then collect all the loot in this chest. As you guys can see here, I was able to easily get all this great loot. If this farm does not work for you, try switching your world difficulty to peaceful and then to hard. Also try setting your world simulation distance to 4 chunks. You can do that by leaving the world then going into the world settings. Also try lighting up the areas around the farm with torches. If the world simulation distance is set to 4 chunks, try lighting up all areas around the farm within about 45 blocks of this trident killer platform. If the world simulation distance is not set to 4 chunks, try lighting up all areas around the farm within about 130 blocks of this trident killer platform. By the way, make sure you don't place any torches inside the witch spawning chamber. That is because the witch spawning chamber needs to be dark for witches to spawn. If you want to add more storage to this farm, break this block. Then crouch down and place a hopper over here. Make sure the nozzle of that hopper is facing downwards. Then crouch down and place 2 chests over here. That will cause items to be stored in that chest. Whenever that chest is full, items will get stored in that hopper, then in that chest as well. If you want to add even more storage, you can add more hoppers and chests. To easily get access to the extended parts of the storage, you can place some blocks like this. After placing these blocks, place a torch over here. Make sure you do that every time that you create one of these paths. That will prevent mobs from spawning in this area. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this simple and efficient Minecraft Bedrock witch farm. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other Minecraft videos. Thanks for watching.